All right, the day after the Super Bowl is a good day for lists. Like hell, let's rank things. That's what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like we need to rank stuff today. And the number one thing we have to rank is quarterbacks. In fact, that's the only thing I'm ranking today is quarterbacks. Excuse me. You know, Aaron Rodgers, I think, has cemented himself as one of the five best quarterbacks in football with a Super Bowl win. But that's it, right? Like, stop there. I'll show you what I mean by doing this. I am going to list right now the 10 best quarterbacks in football. I'm going to go from 1 down because it's too hard to go from 10 up. Because by the time you get to around 7, you're like, I could put 8 guys in this spot. Because there's so many good quarterbacks in this league. Like, there aren't a lot of elite quarterbacks, but there are a lot of pretty good ones, right? Matt Schaub is pretty good. Matt Ryan, pretty good. Joe Flacco is pretty good. Eli Manning is pretty good. Tony Romo is pretty good. But Tony Romo, watch out for him. My good friend Corey Bender doesn't like Tony Romo at all, hates him for almost no reason except he hates Texas. So he's a total hater and kind of a moron from that perspective. But I think Tony Romo, if he can win some playoff games in a Super Bowl next year, which the Cowboys very well could, because now they don't have an idiot as their head coach and Wade Phillips, you never know. I think the Cowboys are definitely going to be back in the playoffs next year. We'll get to that in our season preview whenever we do it because of the collective bargaining agreement stuff. You never know when the NFL season is going to start this year. But we'll get to all that. But anyway, I'm going to rank the quarterbacks 1 through 10, not 10 to 1, because doing it backwards is too damn hard. So let's start with the best and go down to the worst. And I'll give a quick reason why I do each one. And by the way, I'm the only one in this room. No one can argue with me. You can argue with me on the comments if you want. You can email bwcinternetradio@live.com. The first person to email that I don't know, I will mention their name on every segment in the Jim Miller for President Sports program for the rest of the year. So, let's go. First guy I'm going to write down is Tom Brady. I think he's the best. He just went 14-2 again. Didn't win a playoff game this year, but that's okay because he had a young defense and his offensive line wasn't that good. They're going to beef up the offensive line. They're going to draft. Their defense is going to get another year of experience. And Belichick is going to have another year of being a genius. That's right. Belichick is going to have another year of being a genius. Oh, yeah. You give Belichick a little more time to study up on what the rest of the league is doing and see what happens. They are going to be 13-3 or better again next year. Trust me. That's how it happens. Number 2, Peyton Manning. Pretty much because, well, you can't put Peyton Manning out of the top 3. You just can't. I mean, he's getting old. He's starting to slow down. He's out of his prime. I think he's done. He's done with the winning 12 games, and he might have a John Elway type run to the Super Bowl, but he is done with his elite portion of his career. I think he's kind of where Brett Favre was at 2006. Starting on the downtick. But Brett obviously had those great years in Minnesota, had the great year in Minnesota, the great year in Green Bay, that tough year with the Jets. So it keeps going on and on from there. I think that's where Peyton is in his career, on the downtick, going off into the sunset, into retirement, and hopefully out of Indianapolis because it's really cold. By the way, Indianapolis, who decided to put the Super Bowl in Indianapolis? Like, I was looking like, where's the Super Bowl going to be in 2012? Oh, it's going to be in Indianapolis. It's cold in Indianapolis. No one's going to want to go. Obviously, it's the Super Bowl. Everyone's going to want to go. But why is the Super Bowl being played in cold weather? Like, this cold weather Super Bowl that we're going to have. Seriously? Anyway, I'm getting way off topic because I'm talking about things that don't matter. I might... God damn it. Okay, number 3, Drew Brees. Why? Because he's done it for a really long time with 2 different teams. Oh yeah, I forgot. He was really good for the Chargers too. So he's been an elite quarterback for 2 franchises. Won a Super Bowl with 1, and with Sean Payton. Sean Payton and Drew Brees, similar to Belichick and Brady, is only going to get better with another offseason together. And Rodgers and McCarthy might have a little bit of that too now, considering, oh yeah, they have a ring now. I forgot. It was like, 15 hours ago when they won. But, sometimes I forget. All right, number 4. Welcome to the club, sir. Let's write Aaron Rodgers' name down. Oh, yeah. 4th best quarterback in the game, in my opinion. Why? Well, it's not because I'm a Packer fan. Truly, it's not. Because I would say this if I was a fan of any other team as well. Aaron has had the stats for 3 years, and we didn't give him his due because, well, he hasn't won a playoff game. And that's a perfectly good reason not to rank someone. Like, well, he might not be that good because he hasn't done it in the playoffs. And now he has. He's won 4 straight playoff games. He has a Super Bowl ring. And if you have a ring, suddenly everything gets better. Absolutely everything gets better. He's driving a Camaro now. I don't know what he was driving before, but now he's driving a Camaro. And that's pretty awesome. It's a red Camaro. Some people can't appreciate red. It's my dad's favorite color, and I think it's the most obnoxious color ever because all our cars are red. It's very, very annoying. But Aaron now has a red Camaro. Why am I even talking about that? Like, who cares? Wow. I'm, like, completely distracted today. Oh, because everything gets better. That's what I meant. Everything gets better, including your quarterback ranking. He's way up there now. He is with Brady, Manning, and Breeze, who in my opinion are all tied for 1. They are 1, 1A, and 1B. Aaron is not 1C, he is 2. And he is right there, the 4th best quarterback in football. And, he is only going to get better. That team is still young. They're still going to get better in the draft. McCarthy and Ted Thompson know what they're doing in that draft room, obviously. They are only going to get better, and they are probably one of the 3 favorites to win the Super Bowl next year. So his career is definitely on the uptick. All right, 5. Ben Roethlisberger, like I said in the last segment, only went down 1 spot. That's it. Just went down 1 spot because, he lost a Super Bowl. But then again, Brady's lost a Super Bowl and Manning have lost Super Bowls. And they're still 1 and 2. I mean, I didn't move Peyton Manning down last year. When he lost the Super Bowl, I was like, well, you know what? It's okay. He's still Peyton Manning. And Ben Roethlisberger, that's my reaction to the loss last night. You know what? It's okay. He's Ben Roethlisberger. They're just going to put another elite defense together next year. He's going to have a few more fourth quarter comebacks. And they'll move on better than ever. Pittsburgh next year. Number 6, Ben Roethlisberger's counterpart in the NFL draft in 2004, Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers probably at this point, considering Aaron just won the Super Bowl with, just got his ring last night. Philip Rivers now becomes the best quarterback without a Super Bowl ring in the game. And it's really unfortunate because I love the San Diego Chargers. I don't know, I like the uniforms. I like the way they play offense. Not a big fan of North Turner. I think he's kind of a mumbling, fumbling idiot. He's Wade Phillips West is what he is. And I just love everything about the Chargers franchise, but Philip Rivers is going to turn into Dan Fouts of the San Diego Chargers and Dan Marino. Just unbelievably statistically, no Super Bowl rings. I don't see them winning the Super Bowl anytime soon. They're not good in the playoffs. I mean, they're struggling to make the playoffs now. Philip Rivers in big trouble. All right, here's where we all come to a problem, right? This is where everybody stops. 7. I got 6. I got 6 names. Brady, Manning, Breeze, Rodgers, Roethlisberger, Rivers. And then it's like, wow, everybody else is about the same. Vic? Does anyone want to put Vic 7th? I'm talking to myself, by the way. No one is in this room. No one's in my house. No one is in my house. I am completely alone. My cat is asleep and she's deaf. No one is here. And I just, asked a question out loud. This is how pathetic I am. Who's next? Vic? Okay, I'll put Vic. I can do whatever I want. It's my show. Mike Vick. Why? Because I like to watch him play. That is my logic at this point at 7. That is how weird the quarterback position is in the NFL. I like to watch Mike Vick play. I would love it if he would win a Super Bowl someday. Maybe it'll be next year. Maybe the Eagles could do it next year. I would not be shocked at all if the Eagles could win the Super Bowl. Because like I said, with Kevin Kolb, the Eagles can't win the Super Bowl. But with Mike Vick, they can. Watch out for Mike Vick. Okay, 8, Matt Ryan. I like Matt Ryan. I think he's a great player. He's having a problem with winning a playoff game. People are kind of forgetting that. Some people have ignored the fact that he hasn't won a playoff game yet. And we killed Aaron Rodgers. Oh, we can't win a playoff game. And now, we're not killing Matt Ryan. Oh, it's okay. He has another shot next year. We're afraid to touch him. I'll pound him. He hasn't won a playoff game. He's not that good. right? That's what we said about Aaron. Oh, he's not that good. He can't win a playoff game. But Matt Ryan, oh, don't touch him. He's pretty good. He's going to get there. That's what we should have said about Aaron, because obviously he did. He's the champ now. Matt Ryan's the 8th best quarterback in football, followed by Tony Romo. Yeah, I'll put Romo right there. Corey's not here. I put Romo 10th because Corey was here when we were at Tim's house at the East Studio doing this big Super Bowl extravaganza. I put Matt Ryan there, and now I put Romo. He's 9th. He's the 9th best quarterback in football, and he's going to be better than Matt Ryan at the end of next year. He might be a Super Bowl champion. If Tony Romo wins the Super Bowl, he will leapfrog Matt Ryan, Mike Vick, Phillip Rivers, and Ben Roethlisberger. He'll leapfrog him to be the 6th best quarterback in football because he's that kind of talented. He just doesn't have the playoff wins to back it up. And once he gets them, which I think he will this year, I think the Cowboys have a very good chance of winning the Super Bowl this year. Watch out for them. It's kind of hard to say the Cowboys are under the radar, but they are. Like, they should be one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl next year. I think they've got a serious, serious shot at it, considering they don't have an idiot at head coach anymore. Okay, and 10. Do you want to put Schaub? How much time do I have left? Probably none. Oh no, plenty. I got plenty of time. Schaub? Matt Schaub? 10th best quarterback in the league. Who's top 10 in the NFL? Oh, Jesus, that's what I was going to do. Joe Flacco. There we go. Joe Flacco has a ton of playoff wins. All of them on the road. Hasn't played a home playoff game yet. I mean, go through this. Brady's won home playoff games. Manning, Breeze, Rodgers hasn't. And he has a Super Bowl win. Roethlisberger has. Rivers has. Yeah, he's won 1. Vic hasn't. When was the last time Vic won a playoff game? A while. It's been a while. Probably the last time. I'll just say they won a playoff game the last time the Falcons were in the playoffs. Yeah, sure. Okay. Matt Ryan hasn't even won a playoff game. Romo's won 1. It was at home. Flacco's won a bunch. All of them on the road. The Ravens can't beat the Steelers to win the division. That's their problem. If they can win the division, if they've got a home field advantage in the AFC, which they very well could have, they've got enough talent to be 13-3 next year. Now, Ray Lewis and all these other guys are a year older. I mean, Joe Flacco is probably the only guy on the team that's going to stay on the team for a really long time. Him and Michael Orr, the left tackle, or the right tackle. I think he played right tackle this year, actually. But, I mean, he's really good. Flacco is the 10th best quarterback in football. So there's your top 10. And you see the paradigm shift. Aaron was on the outside looking in of the elite quarterbacks. Right? Because I almost had it memorized. I was saying the elite quarterbacks so much. Before the Super Bowl started, before this game started, it was Brady, Manning, Breeze, Roethlisberger. Rivers. And Rivers wasn't even in the cast. There was 4 of them. 4 of them. Brady, Manning, Breeze, Roethlisberger. Stop. Now there are 5. Brady, Manning, Breeze, Rodgers. Rodgers passed Ben. Rodgers passed up Ben, beating him head-to-head in the Super Bowl. I think he deserves that. So now he's the 4th best quarterback in football. I think that's exactly where you put him. And then the other half of the list after Roethlisberger at 5. Yeah. After Roethlisberger at 5, it's Rivers, Vic, Ryan, Romo, Flacco. Great list. I think I did a fantastic job. Go me. These are the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. Now, Vic, I would be willing to take Vic out and put a Matt Schaub in. I think that'd be a good place to go. I think you could make a somewhat of an argument for no, you couldn't make an argument for anybody else. Eli Manning? No. And Donovan McNabb used to be up here. Now he's going to be a backup next year, I think. I think he's going to be holding the clipboard next year. And he's definitely not a Hall of Famer anymore. You know, if he had won a few more seasons in Philly, if they'd kept him in Philly, I think I got to believe he would have won a Super Bowl eventually in Philly with that group, how young they were. If they had let him stay in 2010, that would have been a great season. I think it would have been a great season. Or maybe they got out quick enough. Maybe they said, "Hey, he's gonna collapse this year. Let's get rid of him. Let's move on to Kevin Kolb. Whoops, let's move on to Michael Vick." So very good stuff there. Uh, that's the list as I see it. I think Rodgers is the fourth best quarterback in football this Super Bowl and the Super Bowl MVP. Did a phenomenal job playing this year, and there it is. All right, really good stuff. We got a little bit more to wrap up here. I am going to yell and scream about Chris Carter getting snubbed from a Hall of Fame. I think that is worth yelling and screaming about. That's next. It's Ryan Hartson on BWC Internet Radio. Yes, I gotta write that down.